Hi, Leo. It's Mary Ellen coming to you from Moonrise Cottage for your August 2018 Soul Tarot reading. Pardon me. See, hear that? Mercury is torturing me. I've been tripping over my tongue for days. I'm gonna try to keep that to a minimum, but I can't promise. Um, see, look at that. See, you're seeing a blank screen. This is what I'm talking about. There's your cards. I guess I'll just be a disembodied spirit. That's hilarious. So, all right. Spirit's laughing at me. Sorry about that. I'm just going to go forward because this is actually the third time I've tried to start this video, and every time something goes wrong. So now I'm just laughing at myself while Spirit is laughing at me, and you can join along. Okay. It's all about the eclipse. There's so much going on. Look at those cards. Whew, the fire sign elements. Spirit is overjoyed. And just so you know, we're going to do things a little differently today. So welcome aboard, Spirit says, because we have so much to talk about. Look at the cards. Every single card in the spread, except the beautiful Queen of Battle on the bottom right, has indications for the eclipse. Every single one. It blew my mind. So this is the last fire sign reading that I'm doing for the day. I'm trying really hard to get the videos out because I'm going out of town. All right, so Spirit's taking the lead. I am going to sit back and literally be the mouthpiece today. I'm going to let go of my Virgo need to go in a certain way. And Spirit is going to hopscotch this reading because there's so much urging through for you. All right, so let me, hang on. Hi, welcome. It's great to be here with you. I'm extraordinarily excited about this eclipse and the implications, as you saw in the cards. So, Spirit is asking everyone to begin to become very aware of the attenuation of your energy and the strings of energy that are held within each cohort, how that weaves together, and how that becomes a sacred string, thread, if you will, in order to weave the continuation of the tapestry that Spirit's been speaking about. If I can get through the reading. And I'm a little, I've been recording readings all day, so I'm a little tired. Bear with me. Let's jump right into the cards. All right, so Spirit's going to talk more about the attenuation. Has had some words coming through about harmonic resonance. All kinds of things. There's an announcement. I think I'll save it till the end if I can remember. Okay, let's go. All right, let me just give me a moment to sort of see where Spirit wants to go with this. Okay, Spirit does want to start with the bottom right. There is the beautiful Queen of Battle, the mystical realm. We see the sun behind her. The coloration in this card, Spirit says, indicates everything you're about to experience. There is, okay, Spirit's talking about Uranus. Spirit's talking about the light of the sun, obviously the eclipse, being able to go deeply into the mystical realm for the particular experience that is at hand for you, Leo. And then she has on this beautiful blue shirt. Transformation. She is here to usher you through the journey you're about to have. And it is about battle with sacred battle. It's not about struggle. It's about transformation and about journeying really deep. All right. So what I'm going to do, Spirit's reminding me, I'm going to focus on the divinatory meaning of the cards. And Spirit is going to guide you through the reading. And it's going to be a lot different than it is when I'm doing it. All right. So Spirit says, buckle up. Let's go. Okay. So the Queen of Battle is known as the Morrigan, of course, if you don't know. And, you know, if there's new folks, I just want to let you know. Typically, what I do is I go through the reading, starting with the card that is the Spirit's calling it a prophecy, the light, the theme of the meeting, see what I mean, reading. And that's the card that stands above the Morrigan, okay? So that is about revelation. And Spirit saying, that is the job of the Morgan, to reveal to you those things that you need to know. So that's why Spirit is starting there. And Spirit says because she is standing on the human realm. So there are announcements coming for you, and there's a little bit of discussion about what's going on in the human realm. So take a look at those cards. And Spirit says, and then we're going out. She's taking you out for a journey. And that's going to be, I think, the main points in the reading. So the Queen of Battle is a woman made wise by experience. She is sharp, analytical, intelligent, autonomous, and independent. She is keen and fair. She is someone who has overcome many obstacles. She has strong principles, and she is extremely dedicated to personal liberty. The Morrigan can overcome all obstacles by her incisive power, bringing about transformation by dealing forthrightly with all that is stale and ripe for change. In which situation are you being called to make independent stands or opinions? So, Spirit's talking to me about the King of Art, who is standing at the far left of the center row. The Morrigan is here to assist the King of Art. And together, Spirit says, they are guiding you and protecting you through the journey that you are embarking upon in all of the days of August and going forward for many months. In fact, what is happening is that we are in the completion of a cycle that began last year with the Lionsgate portal eclipse season. Spirit saying, those days through to this moment have brought you to a completion. It is time for a new cycle to begin, and we see it in the cards. All right. So, if you look at the Morrigan, and we see what stands above her, that is the revelation of knowledge, which is the last suit in the deck that I use. It is a numeral 9 card. Spirit would like you to go and look at look up numerology if you don't know what that means. And the illustration really sort of demonstrates that. I don't have time to get into it, but take a look so you really truly understand the import and the impact of that, standing as the theme over the top of the reading and standing aligned with the Morrigan, the sacred shamaness, here to join her energies with the King of Art in order to bring you across into the place into which you are traveling and evolving and emerging, Spirit says. So, the revelation of knowledge is about accomplishment, practical wisdom, recognition and acknowledgement, especially after lone work. It is about discretion, about attainment through conscientious endeavor. It is about sowing the rewards of labor, and again, about being independent. It's about coming into your independent self, your thought pattern, possessing yourself, emerging, and understanding the journey that you've had. So, this card's come out a lot, of course. This is about a warrior who lived many lifetimes. Spirit says on the island, meaning Ireland. It's an Irish mythology. Okay, it's interesting. Spirit's calling it a tradition. That's very interesting. Okay, so this warrior lived through every invasion that came. He was standing there to fight and to protect his homeland and his family, etc. His lineage, Spirit says. And after many eons, after all the invasions, he began to shapeshift. And he shapeshifted into the form of a stag, and then a hawk, and then a boar, and then finally, at long last, he shapeshifted into a fish, which was caught by a fisherman, served up to the queen. Spirit saying that's why it's aligned with the Morrigan. The queen ate the fish, and the spirit of the warrior passed into her womb and was reborn in the next evolution of himself. But in that evolution, he was able to remember everything that had transpired over the whole passage of time, and everything, every instance, so to speak, from his entire existence. So it's not just about shape-shifting and evolving and emerging. It is literally about becoming, transforming into pure awareness and knowledge. Beautiful. And of course, you need the Morgan for that kind of a journey. So if you look up the column to the top row, which is the spirit row, the mystical row, that soul journey that we're all having, that is how you emerge. He was reborn. In moments like this, Spirit says it was a very mystical, profound soul journey that he was led on, that he came here to have. And that's what is going on with you, Leo. It's beautiful. So, the next thing that Spirit wants to focus on is the column on the far left. Again, look at the bottom row. There you stand, Leo, in your strength. That is a story about a warrior who stands on a new foundation, and he is utilizing the fire energy to forge something new. He has everything he needs. He's very stable, and he comes forward in order to create what it is that is needed at this time. Working with the energy of the fire. Spirit's talking about working with iron. So, talking about tools, it's about an internal set point, but it is the way in which you stand upon the earth. And because you are in the business, Spirit says, of forging that which is new, because of the way the eclipse is, go and look at Pam Gregory's video about all the astrology. It's way too much for me to take on because I'm not an astrologer. Go look at that. After you see this reading, you'll understand. Spirit wants you to know it's really important, apparently. So there is an intention. There is a foundation of intention with this warrior who's, blacksmith, right? Working in the shop, working with the fire element to create something from his intention. And it is the king of art that stands above him. The energy rises from your human realm into the bridge card. Spirit says traditionally that's Spirit saying that's her bridge card, meaning, the way I do the reading, right? The Spirit flew, the sacred king of art, here to work with the Morrigan with a direct line to the sacred, the mystical realm, in order to clear away obstacles so that which you intend to create can come forward. A lot of power, a lot of fire, a lot of light. And Spirit's talking about the fire sign element as the light workers. And I know that it's everybody, but there's something particular going on with this eclipse coming forward that has to do with the fire sign elements, all right? So, and then above that, on the spirit realm, because you have this revelation, while you're standing on the foundation of your life as it exists now and through the days of August, being able to clear away these obstacles because of your spiritual intention, there is a courtship. That is a numeral 3. Spirit's talking about the way it relates to the numeral 9. So, again, I'm just going to sort of drop that in and move on. This beautiful card, the courtship of knowledge, the new way in which you are able to understand, Spirit says, to understand what you understand about these moments. Spirit says, it's here in this way for a particular reason. So let me toggle over and show it to you. Here you go. Look how beautiful. The male energy set point. Transforming. I just did a video. I had a really intense experience at the full moon eclipse. So if you haven't seen those videos, Spirit saying, go watch that. It's about the transformation of the male energy and the return of that to this realm so that it can do its work, join the sacred feminine, and turn the destiny here that we all want in our hearts. So I love seeing this here. Beautiful sacred male energy. You fall to your knees when you have this revelation. And when you have a moment of awakening, this is what happens. All right. So it's a courtship with this knowledge that you're coming into because of the eclipse. So I'm going to toggle back and I'll read you some passages from the book. The divinatory meaning of the courtship of knowledge is about mastery and work. And Spirit says, keep looking up and down that column. It is about perfection, professional dignity, educational prowess, exceptional competence in one's chosen field, about the gaining of awards, degrees, certification. But most importantly, Spirit's saying it is about faithfulness to high values. By striving to produce our best work in accordance with our highest ideals, we honor the gifts and abilities with which we are innately gifted. And the sole question is, in what ways are you being asked to produce your best effort in this situation? In the days, on the day of the eclipse, definitely, but in the days of August, as we come into the eclipse and travel through, completely transformed, sheesh, in order to go forward. So, Spirit says now take a look at the center column. Over the top, we do have the Sun card. That is the sacred protector of lore. And Spirit wants to talk about that. So the reason why this is the next point is because of everything that was just said. Right? So the protector of lore, Sun card, abundance, joy, pleasure, satisfaction, contemplation. Spirit's saying contemplation of simplicity. The simplicity. So, there's this notion of, I am being corrected. The simplicity, and I believe that means the purity of the elements of the sun. Spirit's been talking about it a lot. So there are feelings coming through that are not attached to words. Give me a moment and I will decode them. Spirit's talking about the simple purity of the energy and what's available to you while you do your work, and wanting you to understand the implications of the eclipse and the way you come through. When you emerge, you are changed, you're transformed. Marked, Spirit says, okay? There, standing on the ground of the ancients, you become a protector of sacred knowledge, sacred wisdom, sacred lore, in order to serve and go forward to discover what comes next for you. All right. So, when we look at the human realm under the light, Spirit says, of that kind of a notion, then Spirit says, then you begin to see yourself. So on the human realm, we have the beautiful foundation of skill, and next to that, we have the king, the second king in the the first technically, but the second king in the reading. Right? That's a king of skill. I love this character so much. Look at that. He's so beautiful, isn't he? Look how intense he is. You don't mess with that guy. All right? And he's very intent. And he's standing next to the foundation of skill because he too is building toward his new life. He's been through a lot. You see the light of the eclipse in the sand? Spirit's also been talking about the way in which all of us, boy, my voice is getting hoarse, have been set on our journey by the eclipse in Cancer. Discoveries of love, conversations about love and passion, the deep desire of our hearts, the purity of love energy, all that kind of stuff. So for us, as fire sign people, we understand that in a certain way. Okay. So he stands in his workshop. He's making his own way forward. He's literally making his own shoes because he knows where he's going. He has Spirit says, complete internal awareness. His shield is on the wall. He doesn't have any more battles. And he delivers himself, if you will, once the shoes are made, directly into the Morrigan in order to join his energy with this sacred feminine power that can take him out into the universe for his journey and deliver him to the King of Art. So, Spirit says, here's what he's pondering. Okay, so Spirit wants me to show him again. All right. Check out the look on his face. All right. Spirit says this is what he's pondering. Look up the column to the very top on the spirit realm. That's what he's pondering. What it is to join himself in these days under the light of the sun with the aperture that opens upon his soul in order to blend himself and come into, okay, Spirit is saying, come into fruition with the Queen of Battle. Melding himself, you guys know, Spirit talks about it all the time, incessantly, about the blending of the male and female, right? So there are a lot of things out there in internet land about these topics, right? Here in Soul Tarot, we are talking about you, the two halves of your nature. And what I love about this is that he stands on this foundation. He's making his way forward under the light of the sun through the aperture that opens in his own soul on the day of the eclipse. And he's thinking about where he's going, and this is where he's going. All right? He fully intends to rise into that energy, bond himself with the sacred feminine, and rise through the portal that opens into the aperture of his own soul. And, so the mythology behind this card is about a sacred couple, right? There was something that was keeping them apart. And if you skip around through some of the other readings, especially the earth signs, it was all about blending of male and female energy and the mystical things that happen when those things become commonplace, and where we are standing in through this eclipse season, through the month of August and going forward for many months. And Spirit's actually saying until next year. All right, completion of a cycle now and the initiation of something new, and it's all over the cards, right? So this woman was a spell was put on her. She was turned into a fly, and she also had to fly into the mouth of a woman who was at the banquet hall. They were at a wedding, and be immediately reborn in order to join her lover. So, wow, that's blowing my mind. I hadn't thought about that. Okay, hang on a sec. These readings this month, I'm just madly in love with all of them. Okay, check it out. All right, there's the story. Spirit says, all right, we heard the story about this woman who had to regestate in order to grasp her lover. And they bonded together and ran to the fireplace and rose through the smoke hole. Pardon me. And they mated for life. They turned into swans. That's the mythology, right? They turn into swans. Spirit's been talking a little bit about one of the constellations, and I can't think of it. It'll come to me. All right. So, mated for life, the two halves of your energy, right? Sacred bonding of male and female energy. In order for that to go forward uninterrupted, the impeding of that is over. That's one of the cycles we're ending. It's coming through so many of the readings. Go look at some of them. Go look at some of the other, earth sign, water sign, etc. Because there's a theme that's coming through and a great change is coming upon how we go forward as the members of the tapestry, okay? Affecting each other. Each one of us, due to our sacred strings of energy, have been fine-tuned, attenuated, so that we can reach a state of harmonic resonance and go forward, join together. It's really beautiful to me. All right, so that's this woman's story of revolutionary change, Spirit says. Now, we've heard the story about this man, right? Her sacred partner, so to speak, on the energy set point. And we see his journey. I'm going to toggle back. We see his journey on the bottom row. He is standing on a new foundation. I literally just posted a video a couple days ago about the return of the sacred male and the events that happened because of the journey that I took on the full moon eclipse. So go check it out. So here's the fire sign energy display of that journey. And Spirit wants to be really clear with you. This is about recapturing the two halves of your soul. Look at the top row of cards. The male energy emerging, moving, obstacles being removed, standing on a foundation in the light of the sun under the eclipse with the help and the love, the sacred love of the Morgan. And it's, Spirit says, that's not like any other love you've ever experienced, because mystical love, unconditional love, the love of compassion, to go on a mystical journey so that you can emerge. So if you go back up to the top row, look from the left to the right. And Spirit says, it's saying a lot lately. There's the story. That's the cherry on top. And it's on your soul. It's at your soul level. So not only are you completing a cycle here on the earth in these days, your soul journey has come to the completion of a cycle, and a very beautiful type of completion. Spirit says, all the good parts saved for last. So the outcome, there's a whole person. And then, I love that it's male pattern energy. And Spirit's saying again, look at the column up and down, right? There's the warrior. He's been through his transformation. He emerges, and the place into which he emerges is on your soul level. Something really phenomenal, very mystical happening. And when you go forward in the days after August, Spirit says, you go forward a changed man, because you've come into yourself, whether you're a man or a woman, right? So the male pattern of energy has to do with having the impetus, the fire, so to speak, to drive things forward. The goddess just stands in the universe as the aperture, right? And souls come back and forth, and she assists, and she gives gifts and intuition and standing at the sacred gateway. There's a lot of that kind of stuff coming through. And you know what? Behind that young man, that's a passage stone. So there we are. The arising, Spirit says. Look how strong he is. What a fabulous warrior. And his sword stands right at the spiral of destiny. He is able to provide that which is needed. He is extremely open from the will center all the way up, Spirit says. And you can see that he has on this torque necklace, but it's open at the throat chakra. And the sun illuminates him at the crown chakra. The warrior of this kind of battle, who has been able to emerge because of the help of the sacred feminine in all the ways we see it in the cards. Let me toggle back. So how gorgeous is this reading? And then look at the outcome card. Leo? It's making me very happy. Look. I could burst into tears. Spirit is speaking directly to you. Here we see the male and feminine set point, masculine, feminine. The feminine leads the way. She's bringing forward new growth, and the male set point continues to transform and grow, and they are together, they are joined, hand in hand, for the journeys that come forward, because these days of strife and being separated from each other, and now Spirit's talking about actually the human realm, it's coming to a close. It's not going to be perfect right away, we know, right? Spirit says, don't have the notion that, add the day after the eclipse, all the strife is going to be gone. It's not. But the intention and the love energy and the desire to go forward, bonded together, the two halves of your own nature, so that you are really standing in your power under the full light of the sun, also helps the individual set points walking across the earth. So there they are in the light of the eclipse. They're a little furtive. They're looking at each other like, wow, how did we get here? This is pretty cool, but I don't really know where we're going. You see the vessels at their backs? There's a lot that they have to discover, like any new couple. So, when you think about yourself, when you come into the fullness of your being, there is a lot to be discovered. You have to now go and get to know yourself, right? So that is also a number 3 card. All right, second one, it is a courtship of skill. And there are the sacred waters of the, Spirit saying, the water trine, affecting this and what it is to understand the tapestry in these moments as you go forward. It's incredibly beautiful. Leo, this eclipse is really going to affect you in very profound ways as you move across your day, Spirit says. Understand the outcome as a prophecy about what is to go forward from here. And you know what? I'm thinking There's one more thing. Hang on. I've got the card. Let me toggle back to the cards while I find what I'm looking for, because I've got the cards jumbled up on my desk now. And there's one more notion that came to me. Here it is. This actually came out in one of the other readings. And in the moment, I can't remember. Doesn't matter. Look, okay. Spirit says this is where they've been. And this phase is this of fighting and bickering and battling and whatever with the self. Now we emerge like that. Okay? Beautiful. So, Spirit's talking about how it used to be when you used to battle with yourself. And when you come to a moment, because of all those battles, and you do your growth process and you learn about who you really are on the inside, right? So, okay, Spirit's telling me to talk about myself. All right, so breathe, okay? Virgo, Aries, rising. Which part of my nature shall I function from? What will it mean for me if I'm able to join the two halves of my nature so that they can stop fighting? All right, Spirit's now yanking my chain. So they can stop fighting with each other and come to a place of love and acceptance and bonding. And Spirit says binding and interweaving so that what is meant to come forward can arrive through a balanced connection. So, Spirit's pulling that notion in for you, wanting you to understand. And it has to do, Spirit's talking about the aspects of the eclipse. And again, not an astrologer. Spirit is really talking about the astrology. So make sure you go and look at that reading that I posted or any place else where you get a lot of information. But what I like about that video is that it's just, she goes through point by point by point, every single thing. You will understand all the nuances from the, okay, Spirit's talking about from the knowledge base. All right. So, Leo, that was a bit of a whirlwind. I don't usually do things that way. My brain is scrambled, but I thank you for your presence and your dedication and the beauty that you carry in your heart in order to create this. And this, Spirit says. So, Spirit, if you've seen some of the other readings, Spirit's been talking about fusion since the days of the full moon. There's a lot of fusing going on in order that we turn into a swan and rise through the smoke hole of our own existence, mate with ourselves for life, and fly into the mystical realm to take up the next part of our journey, whole and present and loving and gentle with each other, inquisitive, all the things that we see in this card in order to discover what is to come next. So, Leo, thanks so much. I always say, I'm eager to hear from you. Tell me about what's going on in your life. What is happening for you? What are the things that are being revealed to you as you go through the eclipse? And thank you again for being here with me, for sending me all your love and encouragement. I really appreciate it. And I look forward to speaking with you next month. I'll leave you with the cards.